Hi guys, and welcome to video 4. So in video 4, I want to explain about not knowing how many properties to buy. So I went back to the previous videos and I explained to you the difference, and it's a big difference between a property collector and a property investor. So we don't want to be a property collector. Property collector just goes out and just buys this and then buys that, and they think that that's property investing. Property investing is when we're running a business and we buy the right properties that fit into the right plan, that give us the right amount of income that we want to retire on. So let's have a look at this, because I did speak in the other videos about having a plan. Now, part of the problem is that people don't know how many properties they need to buy and in what areas that they need to buy, how much money that they need to generate through positive cash flow in order for them to get to their end result, whether that be $50,000 a year, $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, or whatever. Because remember, there's a lot of elements in this. You have to take into account vacancy rates, you have to take into account maintenance on the properties, you have to take into account interest rates, rent rises, rents going up, rents going down, all that sort of stuff. It has to all go in and give you the net result, right? We don't want to just go out there and just buy random properties in areas and just hope to God that we get to our goal, because that's gambling. So, but these property collectors, that's what they do, right? They go out there and they gamble, right? They hope that they're going to get there. We don't want to do that. We want a proper step-by-step program where we know that we're going to get to that amount of money after so many years, and this is how it works. To combat this, in step 2 of our property cash flow accelerator program, we use a spreadsheet to map out a plan to achieve the property income that you want to achieve, whether that be $50,000 a year, $100,000 a year, or $200,000, or whatever it is, right? So in step 2, we need to work out where you want to be, because if we don't know where you want to be, we can't map out a plan, okay? Now, let me show you a real life example of how our spreadsheet works.
This is our property cash flow accumulator on the screen. So what I was going to explain to you is that we need to have an end goal. So we need to work with where you are and where you want to be. So in my system up here, it's got up the top here, it's got current year. So we put in 2024. It will take us 15 years to get our goal. Now we can change all these figures, right? There's no problem. That's the whole idea about the whole system. And then passive income goal of 100,000. Now that's something that we have to work out. That's something that you have to know. But it's a detailed process to actually get there. Most people come and say they want to replace what they're getting now. Most people, sometimes they say they want 200, 250, whatever, right? So what we have to do is we just have to buy the right properties accordingly that fit into the plan to be able to give you the goal. I'm going to explain to you a bit more about this system later on. There's other videos about this later. So I haven't put any figures or any properties into this at the moment. So this will tell us, so our 15-year goal will take us to 2039. And in 2039, tell us what our gross rent is, what our expenses on our properties are, and what our total passive income is. Now, when I say total passive income, that's money after paying all expenses, including tax. So that's money after management fees, council rates, mortgages, everything, the lot, right? 2 weeks letting fee per year, expenses on the property, the lot. So this is what I was trying to explain to you of how important this is. This is a total, utter plan. And it tells you, and once you start putting in the properties down here, all of these figures here change. And then if we go up to here, it will tell you where you're going to be. So it will tell you what you are now, your market value, and it will tell you your equity position. It will tell you what your mortgage position is. So you'll know in 15 years how much money you owe on your mortgages. You'll know how much equity that you've got. You'll know how much cash flow that you've got. And you'll know how many properties that you need in order to get you to where you go.
So you can see that using our spreadsheet, we'll end up with a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, a 20-year plan, and we'll know exactly where our position is. We'll know where our cash flow position is, we'll know where our equity position is, and we'll be able to identify when it is that we're going to exit the workplace. So you can see how powerful this is. It'll tell us how many properties we need. It'll tell us how much cash flow that we're going to need, and it will tell us how much equity growth we're going to need to fund further purchases. This is how you grow your property empire.